Hi, we're with Back to Bach. We're a program that helps introduce art to especially kids in schools. And today we'll be introducing some artists and showing you some of our own art. Okay, today we'll be doing a basic intro of art, then a little bit art history. We'll talk about our own personal inspirations for our artwork, then our pictures of our own actual art. Then maybe we'll do a little game of guessing and some things that we talked about today, and then our final messages. Okay, so our group is made up of all high school students, a mixture of sophomores, juniors, and seniors. As you can see, here's a picture of all of us with our names underneath.
What is visual art? It is a very creative way to express yourself, and the key thing is to always have fun. You can be doing pretty much anything you want to be doing as long as you're having fun. Next, we have art mediums. So an art medium is basically the tool which you use to express yourself. And we're going to be talking about 4 today, but there are many, many others. You can even create your own medium. But the ones we're going to be talking about are paints, digital art, pencils and markers, and models. Models being like sculptures or three-dimensional types of art.
Acrylic paint is water-based and dries quickly. It can be used on a variety of stuff, including canvas or paper, and you can easily create new colors.
Okay.
Picasso was a Spanish-born artist, and his art enveloped through different periods. He created a unique style called Cubism, depicting three-dimensional objects from distinct perspectives. Picasso works are diverse and innovative, leaving a significant impact on our world.
Michelangelo is an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and a poet during the Renaissance. In the 14 and 1500s, he was a very well-known artist, and some of his most common paintings we see today was the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, the statue of David, and the creation of Adam or the creation of man, all of which can still be seen today.
Okay.
Picasso was a Spanish-born artist, and his art enveloped through different periods. He created a unique style called Cubism, depicting three-dimensional objects from distinct perspectives. Picasso works are diverse and innovative, leaving a significant impact on our world.
So here we have a very famous painter named Vincent van Gogh. He was a Dutch post-impressionist painter in the mid-1800s, and he's most well known for his painting called Starry Night, which you guys probably have seen before. And this is a self-portrait he made of himself right there.
Am I ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ruby, and for my artwork, I do a lot of paintings. When I paint, I use a lot of color. It's like my favorite thing to paint patterns and everything. I'm all over the place. I work with more of an abstract style. Some of the pictures here are more realism focused, but I tend to stick more to like colorful patterns.
Go.
These are my artworks. I use watercolor for these two, and I use oil color for the middle one. This is cupcakes, this is macaron, and this is a cat. It takes more than 30 hours, so it's my favorite.
So here are a few of my pieces. I work in acrylic painting. That's what all these are, acrylic paintings. And I base pretty much all of my art off of Nigerian masks. I'm actually part Nigerian, so I base it off of that to get some of my culture in there. And then I like to do some abstract pieces as well. This right here is heavily inspired by one of my favorite artists named Basquiat. And these two are just masks that I painted based off of Nigerian masks that I've seen.
Here is a picture of some of the most recent artworks I've done. As you can see, I really like drawing people, especially like to draw inspiration from movie characters or specific scenes. I really like how people look, especially I've been working a lot about certain expressions or how you do the faces, and it's one of my favorite things to do. and I think a lot of the practice has really been beneficial, because if you look at my artwork from even like 2 years ago, the progress is absolutely amazing. So yeah.
Hello, my name is Shivana, and I'm from the Frederick Gunn School's Back to Bach art section, and I'm here today to show you some of my works and inspiration. My main medium is digital art. I use apps such as Procreate to create a lot of my artworks and also to experiment with a lot of their features. This one here is more focused on the background and the lighting, as well as how to tell a story through those elements. Here is one of my few watercolor pieces, and I really liked how the red roses stood out in this piece. This one is a sketch, and it's very messy as you can tell, but I wanted to show part of the process of what goes into the final product. Along with my works, I wanted to show some of my inspiration, and these are from different artists and different places. In the first slide, you could see that they were mainly character focused, and they all had different elements like lighting and color, and I really love different ways that people express this, especially through different art styles and different formats, such as the background. And this is what I look at when I feel like I don't have any ideas or I'm looking for something to improve on, as there's always room for improvement and there's always room to take something new. Happy creating!
So like I said earlier, Basquiat is one of my greatest inspirations. He was part of the Neo-Expressionism movement and rose to fame in the 80s. He has sadly passed away quite a while ago, but he has influenced a lot of other Expressionist artists as well, such as one of my other inspirations, Abudia, who is a contemporary Expressionist artist and bases a lot of his work off of Basquiat's work.
Here are a few of my inspirations. I don't do a lot of paintings, but when I do, this is the kind of things I like to focus on. I love how they use the light and the color in here, and how it's a little blurry, but you can clearly see what's going on. I also like how they draw the people. I have a lot of trouble, especially when drawing full figures, of doing things really proportionally. That's what I'm trying to work on, or proportionally is everything is in order, so like the face isn't too big, or the shoulder's the right size, or the hand is the right size, so that's something I really want to work on.
Go.
These are my inspo, and these are written by my favorite painter. His artwork is always cute color and unique configuration.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of trivia now. So basically how it's gonna go is I'm gonna ask a question, and then you can pause the video, and then I'll give a short response to the question. So the first question is, what is a primary color? So there are 3 primary colors: yellow, red, and blue, and they're basically colors that you can't really make with any other colors, and they're used to combine to make all of the other colors. Then the second question is, what is a secondary color? So this is very similar to primary colors. Secondary colors are colors that are made from the primary colors, using just 2 of them. So like purple is a secondary color because it's made of blue and yellow. Okay, so the first question is, what is a primary color? So there are 3 primary colors: blue, yellow, and red, and they're basically the colors that all other colors are made from. These specific colors can't really be made by combining any other colors. Okay, what is a secondary color? So a secondary color is very similar to primary colors, but whereas primary colors can't be made by any other colors, secondary colors are created from mixing primary colors. So like purple is made from red and blue. Okay, the next question is, who painted Starry Night? Starry Night was painted by the artist Van Gogh. He, during his lifetime, wasn't not particularly famous, but after his death, a lot of his paintings became world-renowned. He made the statue, the David. the David was made by Michelangelo. It is currently held in Italy. It is one of his most famous sculptures, and it depicts David from the story of David and Goliath. Name 3 mediums of art. So there's a bunch of different mediums of art. Some of the ones we talked about were pencils or markers, models like sculptures or clay, acrylic paints, digital, watercolors, and yeah. Who painted the Mona Lisa? The Mona Lisa was painted by probably my favorite artist of all time, Da Vinci, and I think he's really interesting because a lot of the reasons he was so talented was because of his study of science going hand in hand in art. I think he's a really great example of how art can really be beneficial to the real world, and how studying art doesn't just have to be, museums and paintings, and you can really see how it's influential to the rest of the world. Okay, the next questions are going to be some true or false, and the first one is architecture an art? And I would have to say it is definitely an art, because if you look back to especially ancient architecture, it's really amazing how all the designs and a lot of the geometric patterns are so beautiful and just so astounding. Do you have to use a brush to paint? So this is a really interesting question because no, you do not. You can do splatter painting or finger painting or anything else, and yeah.
Okay.
True or false? Art used to be an Olympic event. This is something I actually did not know until about 30 seconds ago, but art used to be an Olympic event. Yes, that is true. It's very interesting. It kind of talks about how Greek and Roman values were semi-different, and a lot of people think of it as just war, battles and fighting, but they really had really strong values and valued art very